Hello, everyone. Hello. My name is Missy, and this is my very first time filming a video. I'm sure this is going to be like an interesting kind of setup that we have going on here. So bear with me. I do use the Budget Mom, or more recently I've started using the Budget Mom, and by more recently I mean quite literally just by the beginning of this month. So what I really wanted to do is I wanted to kind of have a debt confessional with all of you, and I wanted to explain how I got to where I did with the amount of debt that I currently have in place, which I feel is very large. I have never been good at money. I've never had anybody teach me about finances. Nobody's ever kind of taken their time to explain what a checking account should do, or what a savings account should do, or what a 401k is. Nobody's taken their time to explain credit. I've never had that. So because I've never had that, I've never realized that I was doing serious harm to myself by continually taking out credit card after credit card, or loan after loan, or whatever it is that I might have been working on at that moment in time. And it was really kind of detrimental. And I've been playing this game ever since, I turned 18 and was able to get all these things on credit. I've been playing this game of catch up, and it's not been fun. And recently, in the last couple of years, I've found myself in a position where I've had a lot of medical scares that have come up in the last couple of years with COVID, especially with COVID, right? And because of those, I've really come to the realization that I don't have money that I should have in order to support myself and support my family and take care of my family. It's quite literally come down to what bill am I paying this week versus what bill could I pay next week? What can I put off without having to worry about whether or not they're going to shut something off? And I don't like living like that. It's scary and it's heartbreaking. And I don't want my children to have to worry. So here it is. Here's my debt confessional. And I recognize that this is not pretty, right? There's YouTubers out there that have wonderful setups, and I'm not there. I can't afford that. So we're just gonna kind of go with what I have. I'm left-handed, so kind of bear with me as we go through this. Oh, but my pen, that one is not going to work today. So let's see if we can get this one to work. Perfect. Creditor. And I do have a nifty little thing here. My handwriting is not the prettiest, so bear with me as we do this. Creditor. Let's do balance. Interest rate. And this would be like your APR. And monthly payment. I'm gonna tiny one over here because I'm having thoughts. This handwriting is not pretty. Bear with me. I recognize that it's not the best thing in the world. I'm gonna zoom you guys in and see if we can make this work a little bit better. And you can kind of see what I've got going on. At some point, I'm sure I'll make this look a lot nicer, and it won't be so crazy, but I wanted to get it out there because I wanted to see it for one thing, but I also wanted to be held accountable for kind of what was going on. So more recently, because I have been dealing with some pretty crazy bills that have been popping up, and I've really been trying to pay those off and not have to worry about medical bills going to creditors. I did some very naughty things. I took out not one, I took out 2 payday loans. Yep, no, I'm definitely not excited about it. So I took those out. We have Check City. And we have USA Cash Services. I'm not a fan. I have these no matter how I decide to pay this off. If I decide to do a debt snowball, if I decide to do avalanche method, whatever way I decide to go, these 2 are at the very top of my list. First, foremost, before anything else, I will pay off these 2 debts. So currently my Check City balance is sitting at $1,300. My USA Cash Services is at $1,378 and 24 cents. My interest rate is astronomical on these. I don't even want to write it down. If you're not familiar with payday loans, the interest rate is very close, if not over 100% interest on these things. It's insane. It's insane. My monthly payment, we're gonna write this down because, oh my goodness. $486 for my Check City, and for my USA Cash Services, it is $346. This is a combined amount. So the 486 is 2 payments a month, and the 346 is 2 payments a month, because I have to pay every 2 weeks. I pay on a bi-weekly status for both of these. This is taking the balance down. Okay, I'm at the point now where I'm not really accruing. Okay, that's a lie. I am accruing some interest, but it's not too terribly bad. Some of what I am paying out, oh, that sounds awful. It is bad. It is bad no matter what way you look at it. Oh, but what I'm trying to say is, even though there is some interest in these 2 payments, some of it is also still going towards this balance. So this balance is coming down, although it is coming down very, very slowly. I'm also going to jump into a couple of other ones that are at the very, very top of my list that I'm going to have to take care of the soonest, in addition to, these 2 payday loans. I have some other things that have come due that I need to pay ASAP. So I'm going to write them all down. And they are actually medical bills. And I'm just going to list them. Medical bill number 1, medical bill number 2, medical bill number 3, medical bill number 4, and medical bill number 5. These 5 medical bills that I have right here are the very, very last of what I have left over from all of my ailments that I had going on during COVID, and finally being able to pay off the very, very last of them. Knock on wood. I recognize this isn't wood, but knock on wood, everything is good. My insurance is back in a really, really good place. I have a very small HSA that gets pulled out of my paycheck, so I don't even see it. It's not anything that's counted, but I do have that kind of going in there. So in the event I have something that pops up, I'm gonna be okay. So balances on those ones. The first one, really small, $10. The second one is $40. Medical bill number 3 is $70. Number 4 is $90, and number 5 is $150. if y'all know about your copays, some of you will recognize that this is a procedure that actually happened. Regardless, I currently have no interest on these. Nothing has been sent to a creditor's office, just no interest. Just these balances. I think, fingers crossed, I'm desperately hoping I can get all 5 of these knocked out with my next paycheck that I'm going to get here in the next couple of weeks. So I am just going to bring them literally straight across for what I have due in a month to take care of them. And I think that'll work. And I am going to kind of thicken this line a little bit, if you will, because like I was saying a little bit earlier, no matter what I decide to do as far as snowball method, avalanche method, anything like that, these top 7 debts are my priority debts. I want to ensure that these medical debts, these 5 medical debts, don't go anywhere. They don't get to a point where they need to go to collections, for one thing. But I also need to ensure that these top 2, 1 and 2 with Check City and USA Cash Services, get paid off quickly, because the longer I have those out, the longer I have this money that is going towards something that could quite honestly be put to any other number of my debts. So draw a little hard line for priorities, right? Top priorities. And then I'm going to jump into literally everything else. By all means, let me know your thoughts on these debts as we cruise through them, because like I said, I was never taught that any of this was a problem until it became a problem for me. And then I had to go out and I had to educate myself, and I had to figure out what I needed to do in order to get out of it. And now that's what I'm working on. So debt number 8, some of you are gonna, I can feel it coming. Affirm Best Buy. Affirm is a buy now, pay later type of a program, ridiculously high interest rate, right? Usually they also charge way above what the actual product would be had you just bought it from the original source. That's what I did. I can tell you this purchase right here happened at the very beginning of COVID. It happened because we all of a sudden had to come home. We had to work from home. We had to do schooling from home. And I didn't have a setup to do that. I had no idea what I was doing. So I went out with Best Buy through Affirm. I bought some monitors. I bought an iPad so that the kids can do their schooling and you know, they could both be on what they needed to do. One of the monitors went to me so that I could continue to work. And that's essentially where we're stuck. This balance has definitely been paid down, but it is still there, and it is at $264.79. And here's where interest starts to get not so fun. I recognize that there's interest up here, and I just didn't write it down for my payday loans because it's just not a fun number to look at. But we're really going to focus on our interest right now. Interest rate for Best Buy with Affirm, 28.01%. My monthly payment, $33.20. This monthly payment with this interest rate is going to take me forever to pay off $264.79. It is very sad. It is very sad to see that and look at that and recognize now that I know this is what my interest rate is and what an interest rate actually is, and that this is my monthly payment. These two things are not going to take care of this thing. And it is heartbreaking to be in your 30s and know you've messed up somewhere. You're doing things to fix it now, right? I'm sitting down, I'm writing all these debts out, I'm trying to make it better. You're doing things to fix it. But wow. And y'all, this is going to get so much worse because I have a list of debts that I am going to be writing out, and the interest rate on almost every single one of these looks eerily similar. So to keep cruising through here, we have another one with Affirm because my mind said, hey, Affirm has given you this big old credit line, right? This $1,500, $2,000, $2,500, $3,000. It just keeps going up and up and up and up. So I can continue to buy and buy and buy and buy. I can't continue to buy and buy and buy and buy. It is causing a tremendous amount of concern. I'm not being able to make monthly payments. It's not good. It's not good. So moving on from that, I have one from Affirm. Next one I have on here is Amazon, and I'm actually going to list it as Amazon number 1 because I have 2 from Affirm Amazon. And the balance on this one, $305.95. The interest rate for this one is 29.99%. And my monthly payment is $23.54. My debt number 10 is a little bit different. I'm gonna list it because it is a debt. Oh wow, I'm glad I can spell. It is a debt. It is for my Apple Watch, but I have it tagged out here as insurance because my life insurance has a program in place where it's like a healthy get better type of a program, yada, yada, yada. When COVID hit, that they started that said, hey, we're going to give you an Apple Watch. Yes, you have to pay for it, but you can pay for it in monthly installments. And if you work out so much in a monthly time frame, you don't actually have to pay a monthly payment, or your monthly payment is going to go down. Sometimes my payment goes down, sometimes my payment doesn't go down. Regardless, it is a debt for me. So I am going to list it out here. I have a remaining balance of $355.25. I have no interest on this. There's no interest that comes on this, but there is a monthly payment of $15.50. And once again, that can fluctuate because if I'm exercising a lot, I can knock this down to $12.50 to $7.50 or $0 is kind of how they have their process set up. Oh, and in case you all haven't kind of caught on from my hard pay line up here, everything will be listed in smallest to largest balance, not necessarily highest to smallest interest rate, although I am thinking that I'm probably going to go avalanche method first. I don't know. We'll see. Let's continue to write these on because we still have quite a few to get through. Debt number 11 is going to be my Maurice's credit card. This is a women's clothing store. For those of you that don't have a Maurice's next to you, clothing store, consumer credit. Wow, they get you. They get you. They get you. And if it's been a while since you've been in and since you've used your store line or your credit card, they send you these lovely little emails, mailers, text messages, whatever it is saying, hey, come back in, we've raised your credit line. And it's just a way to suck people back in. But Maurice's credit card, $453.50. My interest on that, 29.24%. My monthly payment, $37. I have closed this account. I have not closed my Affirm accounts. I don't know if you can close those now that I'm thinking about it. I wonder if it's just, like once you get them paid off, it's done type of a thing. And then I have to cancel out through the application. I'm not too sure on those. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But I can say this account currently, Maurice's, is closed. And I'm gonna put a big old red C off to the side of it. I cannot I can't go out and charge anything else to this credit card because it's closed off. And I went and bought clothes that I didn't need. So that's great. Debt number 12, hang on to yourselves because this is not going to be fun either. We have a Credit One credit card, but this is actually my third Credit One credit card. You will see the other ones listed a little further down below, but I have my Credit One credit card right here. I got this at the start of COVID when a lot of my medical bills were starting to pick up and I really didn't know what I was supposed to do. I didn't know how I was supposed to make my ends meet. I was at a complete loss and I needed to take care of my family. I needed to make sure the lights stayed on, or I needed to make sure I could put food on the table. I needed to make sure I could pay off that one medical bill before I went to collections and, gained $150 more towards the balance. I couldn't do that. So I went out and got a credit card and then another credit card and another credit card because it was easy for me to just continue to get them. And during COVID, I felt like everybody was just giving money all of the time, no matter what. So Credit One credit card number 3. Remaining balance on that one, $556.41. It has an interest rate of 15.9 currently, and I have a monthly payment of $35. Number 13 is, let's see, my Fingerhut Fetty account. Fingerhut is very similar to Affirm in that it is a buy now, pay later, or pay over time type of a thing. Once again, the products would have been so much cheaper had I just purchased them from the original source, saved up and purchased them, but I didn't want to. I had a very negative mindset with money, with funds, and I didn't recognize that having this was hurting me in such a drastic way that it was going to come back around and bite me. And now I'm desperately trying to dig myself out of the hole that I managed to put myself in. When I was trying to, I hope that recorded because it said my phone was dying. When I was trying to write all these out in order to actually list them out on paper like this, and I was seeing these numbers and these interest rates and my monthly payments pop up, I cried. And then I had some wine, and then I cried some more, and then I wrote down some more and kind of repeated the process until I had all of my debts laid out in front of me so that I could truly see what the damage was. And I am a very firm believer that, yeah, this is bad. This is really, truly bad. But my first step is recognizing that there was a problem and now I'm doing something to fix it. So Fingerhut Fetty, here we go. I have intentions on closing this account once it's paid off. I think it's kind of like Affirm where if I just don't use it, it's gonna fall off. I don't know if I necessarily need to call in and close it. I'm not 100%. And I should back up and say also with this Credit One credit card, I have called them and I have asked them to close it, and all they did was lower my interest rate. And they're like, we're gonna lower your interest rate for 6 months so that you can pay off your balance. I'm like, but that's not what I asked. I want it closed. So I think I'm gonna have to kind of fight with them a little bit in order to get it to close. And I'm just gonna tab these because that's kind of what my mind is telling me. My thought process is I have intentions of closing these other things with tabs, right? So that's what I'm doing. Debt number 14, here we go again. It's another Affirm account, and I'm glad I can spell while we're doing this. And this one is my Amazon number 2 account. Y'all, I couldn't tell you if I wanted to what I bought from Amazon with these Affirm accounts. I'm sure I could look back and actually look at them and see it, written out. But just sitting here right now, writing these out, I'm trying to kind of rack my brain. And I'm struggling. I have no idea what I bought off of these two Amazon Affirm accounts. And that's kind of a hard pill to swallow, in recognizing I have these debts and I don't even know what I have for it. What do I have to show? What do I have to show for these debts? I don't have any idea. Next debt that we have going on, debt number 15, Capital One. Wow, credit card. I'm getting ahead of myself. I wanted to write a C for credit card. Capital One credit card is at $849.15. It has an interest rate of 27.73% and a monthly payment of $25. Once again, like above, this $25 with this interest rate and this payment, it is going to take me so long to pay it off with these two numbers. It's just, it's insane what I have going on when you actually write it all out and look at it. Debt number 16, we have Fingerhut, but this is interesting. So Fingerhut Fetty is their new system, right? Fingerhut, just plain Fingerhut, is what they had prior to establishing all these Fetty accounts for everybody who was part of Fingerhut, if you could establish one, I guess. This account is closed, and I'm just paying off the balance that came with it. I am not 100% if there's interest that's being accrued. I have no idea. I'm having a lot of difficulty accessing any of my statements on this one. So this is one I'm gonna have to go back and really kind of dig into. But for now, I'm gonna mark it as Fingerhut retired because it's a retired account. We're not using it. I don't intend to use it again. But I'm not really sure what's going on as far as interest is concerned. I do know it has a balance of $886.65. I'm gonna tab this one because I don't think it's at a zero balance, so I don't want to put a zero like I have above. But I am gonna do this because I want to go back and really kind of make sure that I know what's going on. And then for my monthly payments, $59.99 on that one. And this one again is definitely going to be something that I let close out. I can't afford it. Debt number 17. It is my Credit One credit card, and it is the first Credit One credit card that I ended up getting. This one has a much higher balance than the other one I've already listed out. It also has a higher interest rate going on, but it's still a smaller balance than where it originally was. Current balance on it is $1,024.11. We have an interest rate of 18.9 and then a monthly payment of $52. Same issue with this one. All of these Credit One credit cards that you're gonna see, I tried to close them and all they did was lower my interest rate, which I mean, I guess that's great, but I want it closed. And they tried to tell me, the person who I was on the phone with was like, well, if we close it, it's gonna affect your credit. I hate to break it to you, but with all of these debts on here, my credit doesn't look fantastic. Please just get rid of it so I don't have to see it, so I can take care of it. I need it to go away. So I'm just gonna continue to pay on these for a little bit, and then I'm gonna call back and see if I can drop this anymore. Debt number 18, I'm going to list as fitness, and I'm gonna list a balance of $1,050. this fitness, it's a program that I signed up for with just a company. I don't necessarily want to put the company out here, but I've never done anything with this company. I don't attend their meetings. I don't post anything. I don't ask for help. I don't follow their eating plan. I don't follow their exercise plan. It was quite literally just a waste of money. But I still owe money on this program until my contract is up, which is $1,050. I don't have an interest on it, so 0 interest unless for some reason I stop paying it and I go to collections, which I don't intend to do. I'm just gonna let it close out. And my monthly balance on that is $300. Makes you kind of hate it. But I had every intention of utilizing it, thinking, hey, I was gonna do these great things, and it just was not the case, unfortunately. Debt number 19 is my credit card number 2. Credit card number 2 out of 3. Balance on this one is $1,059.59. It has a 15.9% interest rate, and I pay $38 a month on this one. I'm going to tab it because that's one that that's not closed. Oh, I've messed up already. That's okay. It's gonna look a little janky for right now until I can go back and really make this clean. Intend to close. Number 20. This should be the last Affirm account that I have on here. And it was for Tempo exercise equipment. If you're familiar with Tempo, it's like an at-home weight system. I got it so that I could do this fitness thing at home, and I was gung-ho. I was like, yes, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna do the good things. I'm gonna be super healthy. I'm gonna eat super healthy and clean all day long. And I'm gonna exercise, and I'm gonna use these weights because they're just gonna be in my house, right? They're gonna be in my garage. I'm gonna be so close to them. I'm not gonna have any sort of problems. Only I don't have the drive or dedication to want to. So yeah, now I just have Tempo equipment that's sitting in my garage, and because I paid with it through Affirm, it was ridiculously expensive. So I have a remaining balance, $1,174.37, 27.97 interest rate, and $83.89 a month that I'm paying on this. And kind of gives me heartburn to see these all again, listing these out like this. Debt number 21 is an Upgrade credit card. Something that I definitely got at the beginning of COVID when I was having all those medical concerns to just try to make ends meet, and now I'm stuck, with those consequences and trying to pay it off. So Upgrade credit card is $1,445.85. It is a 29.49% interest, and I do pay $59.20 a month. I have not called this company to try to cancel it yet, or to just close it and continue to pay off the remaining balance. I intend to do that and see what they say. Hopefully I get, yeah, we'll go ahead and close it for you, instead of this back and forth that I've had to do with this other company, which has not been super fun, but I will keep you all updated on what that looks like as I work through this, because I do intend to revisit my debts on a monthly basis. Debt number 22 is a credit union loan that I got straight from my credit union. I did it at one point to consolidate my medical bill debt that I had going on, and it did a great job. It took down a lot of my medical bills that I had. This used to be ridiculously high, especially because I had all these other things that I was taking out that I was paying off medical debt with, thousands of dollars in medical debt. And I was just kind of taking money wherever I could get money at that point. So I did take one through my credit union. Remaining balance on my credit union loan, $2,494.83. It has an interest rate of 13.74%, and I have a monthly payment of $101.89 on that debt. Working it down. Once it's done, it's done. I still bank with that credit union, so it's not something I need to necessarily worry about, but it's a debt, so there we go. Debt number 23 is my Citi credit card, and it has a current balance of $2,779.06, has an interest rate of 27.99%, and I have a monthly payment of just around $100. It's usually a little bit less than that. Sometimes it's a little bit over, but not very often. $100. I am not tabbing this one is closed. I'm also not tabbing my Capital One as closed. These two credit cards I have had for a very, very long time. I am going to try to keep these two open and use them as my bill pay. Get them down to zero balances, and maybe it's just the Citi card that I keep open. I'm not sure yet. I'm still trying to work through that, but pay it off to a zero balance and then use that to pay my monthly bills, my gas, my food, my rent, whatever that looks like, because then I'm getting points on whatever I'm paying out, and then take my monthly that I would have paid towards my bills and just pay off the credit card every year. So I kind of want to hold on to those two for right now and see what happens. Number 24 is a lending club loan. And you guessed it, this is once again for medical, just trying to make all of those ends meet when I was in a very dire situation. I'm not having any sort of savings or backup plan, really anything to get me through something that was really, really trying and hard. And, you know, now I'm kind of eating those consequences and trying to dig myself out of it. Lending Club, $3,495.04. It is 22.51% interest, and I pay $180.74 a month. Debt number 25 is an Avant loan. Same lines as my Lending Club loan. This one has a balance of $3,544.06, 17.95%. So a little bit smaller, but still, you know, really, really high. Oh man, I'm just not a fan. $180.63 a month. We're getting towards the very last little piece of this notebook, but I assure you the rest of the debts are definitely going to fit here. 26 is my vehicle loan. My vehicle loan, which is at $9,584.65. I have an interest rate of 8.25%, and my monthly payment is $276. 27 is a parent loan. I got a parent loan when I was about 20 years old. So, you know, like 12 years ago. From my parents. They helped me move across the country. They were so sweet and so good to me, as parents are, but they essentially just, you know, they stocked my apartment for me. They helped me with my car. They helped me do all of these things. And I know for a fact they do not expect this money back. In fact, they've told me, you know, this is a gift for us to be able to help you and provide for you and do all these things. And I feel like I failed because I had to come home. You know, I came home divorced and I came home a single mom, and I had to start all over, and I left all of these wonderful things that they provided me, and I feel the need to pay that back. I do. So $20,000. I don't know how, I don't know when. I'm gonna figure it out, but that's where we're at. I don't have an interest rate. I don't have a monthly payment. This is just kind of there. And you know what? Let me do this, because I really, really want this to be very clear what comes first, what comes second, and what comes third when it comes to all of these debts that I have going on. Because it is quite extensive and it's going to be a challenge, but nobody said anything was easy. So let's bust them out, and let me move down these. I intend to close all these, or once they're paid off, they'll be done. So I really only have a couple of them that I will not be getting another one of these from my insurance company. I only intend to keep open the 2, and that's a very potential, like, let's see what happens type things. But anyways, last thing I have on here are my student loans. They are not consolidated. I have currently $51,000 in debt with my student loans. I'm sure I have an interest rate on there somewhere. I'm sure I have a monthly payment that's going to be coming due at some point in time. I haven't looked at it. I don't know what this looks like. I'm scared to know what this looks like. I am still in school though, so while I'm in school, I know I don't have to pay. So that's kind of just what I'm banking on at this point in time, is continuing school and hopefully getting the rest of this stuff paid off. And that way, you know, I'm good. That way I'm good. But this is an insane amount to me. This is an insane amount. So we kind of have it broken down. This chunk above this dark line is the first thing that I'm paying off. This is priority number 1. This second block here in the bold lines, priority number 2, and then below, third block, priority number 3. I did do the math off screen, so all of you are aware. I went through and said, hey, if I pay all of these in a debt snowball, when will I get it paid off? And I did the same thing with debt avalanche. When would I get it paid off? With both programs, I pay them off the exact same time. And that is pending nothing else, right? If I just keep my same income, my same job, all of that stuff. If I pay nothing else but the very minimum payment and just kind of keep rolling over, I will finish both of these, debt snowball and avalanche, by July of 2027, which is a very, very long time away. I don't intend for that to be when I actually pay these debts off. I want to have these paid off within the next 24 months, 2 years. Today is October 11th, 2022. I want to be paid off with these by the end of October 2026, if I can help it. That's really what I'm striving to do, with the exception of debts number 28 and 27, because those are going to be crazy within themselves. So let's do this. Let's total it up so you can see what the total is. Total, everything, all the way down. My total debts are $163.45. Ouch. Ouch. My monthly is $2,437.53. These totals, so you all are aware, are not including my payday loans at the very top. I intend to have those paid off in the next couple weeks, and I'm sure I should probably include these in this total number, but I'm not. If I take out debts number 27 and 28, and I'm just looking at these numbers right here, debts number 3 through 26, my total balance drops down to $36,063.45. This is the number right here that I intend to have paid off in the next 2 years. And I am gonna do that by cutting costs, cutting spending. We are not eating out anymore. We are not going to do anything too crazy as far as just fun things, right? Like going to the movies every weekend or going and doing that every weekend. I'm not going to do erroneous spending. I'm really doing cold turkey on 99.9% of things, and I'm not doing something unless I specifically have it planned, unless I have saved the money for it. On top of that, I am also going to be working through the budget mom and a lot of what she has going on for her monthly budgets, paycheck to paycheck. And I have a second job that I intend to start at the end of this month, which I think is going to give me somewhere around $350 a week that I'm going to start throwing at all of these debts. So, I'm really hoping that I could have half of this section taken care of within the first 6 months, maybe. We're going to see what that looks like. I had originally left this column open because I wanted to list out, what order I was going to pay these debts in. But I think what I want to do is I just want to take care of these top 7 debts first in this top section right here. And then I want to come back and revisit because I want to sit down again and I want to do the math again with a debt snowball and an avalanche method to see if it changes. But I also want to look at, if I do the avalanche method, how much I'm saving in interest if I pay these ones off first. And I kind of struggle because I'm wondering if I'm going to do, like a onesie twosie where I pay this one off first to get it out of the way, or I pay this one off first to get it out of the way. I don't know what that looks like. I need to revisit it and I need to think. But if nothing else, I sat down and I wrote these all out, and I know the ones I need to focus on first is this chunk right here, 1 through 7 first. That is my priority. I need to pay these balances now. They are my first priority. And then I can work through these. And I'm focusing on this entire form as this is only 28. There are only 28 numbers on here, 1 through 28, that I need to take care of. Yes, there's much larger numbers with balances and much larger numbers with interest, and the payments can seem astronomical. But I am only dealing with 28 debts. And I'm going to have 5 of them taken care of by the end of the month. 5 of them. And that's going to bring 28 down by 5. And I need to keep looking at that because I need to keep that momentum and that sight in mind so that I know what I have going on. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to take out this form. I'm going to add it to my budget by paycheck stuff that I have going on back here in my debts. This is what I'm setting up for 2021 because I didn't want to order these again. They're great and I love them, but I kind of just let them sit almost the entire year. I bought it with good intentions, and once again, I never went through with it. So I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to use a lot of this stuff in here to really kind of track everything that I've got going on. And I kind of have it set up to where I'm tracking various things, but that can be for a different day. But I'm gonna go ahead and take this paper, I'm gonna add it to my debts so that I can start tracking it. And that's the plan for today. So hopefully, you know, this reaches a few of you. You look at this and can kind of get behind it and go, you know what, it's great that you're taking those steps forward, Missy. And you can follow me on this journey. If you have any thoughts, any ideas that you all might have experienced going through this, any words of encouragement, I happily welcome them. And then I guess just like and subscribe to follow me on this journey. Thank you.